quick look at Rambam Hilchos Teshuvah for today. We're in Perek Beis. Pasuk, Halacha Zayin, Perek Beis, Halacha Zayin. Yom HaKippurim, remember we learned Monday in Halacha Vav that Teshuvah and Sa'aka, Teshuvah and prayer are good for the world and are accepted by HaKadosh Baruch Hu immediately during the 10 days of Teshuvah, Teshuvah. That's Teshuvah for an individual. But a tzibur that's going to do Teshuvah, which we will talk about not today, but a tzibur that's going to do Teshuvah, when they do Teshuvah, HaKadosh Baruch Hu answers them right away. It's the Aseres Yimei Teshuvah is a special chesed HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us for the individual. Halacha Zayin. Now we go to Yom Kippur. We've talked about the Aseres Yimei Teshuvah. Yom HaKippurim huzman Teshuvah lakol. Yom Kippur is a time where everyone should be doing Teshuvah. Liyachad, an individual, a Rambam, and the public. There's a mitzvah d'oraisa to do Teshuvah on Yom Kippur, according to many Rishonim. Ki b'yom hazeh yechaper aleichem atar esrem mikol chatoseichem l'fnei Hashem tetoru. It's a pasuk we say on Yom Kippur. We read it in the Torah on Yom Kippur. This day shall atone for you. And for it atone for you, you need to do things for the day to atone for you. V'ketz mechilu slich l'Yisrael. There are different ways to understand the word ketz. I'm going to define it as this is the pinnacle day to obtain forgiveness for Klal Yisrael. Therefore, every person is required to do Teshuvah and to say Vidui on Yom Kippur. U'mitzvahs Vidui Yom HaKippurim sheyaschel me'erev hayom koydem sheyoichal shemiyechonek b's'uda koydem sheyisvada. The mitzvah of Vidui, if you open your Machzor for Yom Kippur, the first pages may have Shlogim Kaparis, but after that, it's going to have Mincha for Erev Yom Kippur. The Mincha of Erev Yom Kippur is a regular weekday Shmona Esrei, but in the silent Shmona Esrei, you already say Al Chet. When the Chazan repeats the Mincha Shmona Esrei on Erev Yom Kippur, he does not say the Al Chet. But in the silent Shmona Esrei, even before Yom Kippur starts, Mincha Erev Yom Kippur, you already say the Al Chetz. Why? Because we know that after Mincha, you're going to eat a Suda HaMafsekes, that last meal before going into the fast of Yom Kippur. And the Gemara says, the Rambam just quoting the Gemara, we're worried that a person is going to eat the Suda HaMafsekes. And chas v'sholom, he's going to choke on his food and die, which means that he will die Erev Yom Kippur and never have said vidui of Yom Kippur to atone for his sins before death. So therefore, before this large meal, where a person can chas v'sholom choke, Chazal said the mincha of Erev Yom Kippur before the Suda Mafsekes, in the silent Shmona Esrei, you say the Al Chet. Even though a person said the vidui, ashamnu and al chet before he ate Erev Yom Kippur, chose umusvada belel Yom HaKippur avis. Nevertheless, you're going to say the ashamnu and the al chet in Ma'ariv. V'choizu misvada shachris, and you're going to say the al chet and the ashamnu again in shachris. Uba musaf, and you're going to say the ashamnu al chet in musaf. Uba mincha, you're going to say the ashamnu and the al chet Mincha Yom Kippur, Uvene'ila, and you're going to again say Vidui in the Ila. Now, of course, people should be asking themselves the question after all these Yom Kippurs, what are all these Viduis for? How many times do I have to say Vidui on the same sin? We're going to leave that for now. But you can see the Rambam used the word Choser. We understand why you say Vidui before Yom Kippur begins, before the Suda Mafsekes, because we're worried about a person chas v'sholom choking during the Suda Mafsekes, then he'll die without having said Vidui. So we say Vidui before. And then we say Vidui again at Ma'ariv in Shul, or wherever we're davening this year. And then we do it again Shabbos, and then we do it again Musaf, and then we do it again Mincha, and then we do it again. How many times do you say Vidui? Okay. V'heicha Misvad, Rambam says, where do you insert the Vidui? Yochid Achat Filasai. Individual, he says Vidui after he finishes davening. Take a maxi. You'll see after you say Yil Ratzin Imrin Fi Ve'egan Libuch Nech Hashem Tzuri Ba'ali according to one nusach. Then you say the Vidui. It's basically after you finish the Shemona Esrei, you're saying the Vidui. You didn't take your 3 steps back, but you basically finish the actual Shemona Esrei prayer. That's where an individual inserts the Vidui. Over Shliach Tzibur, where does the Chazan insert the Vidui? The Emtzat Filasei in the middle of Shemona Esrei, the Bracha Revius in the 4th Bracha, which is the Bracha right in the middle of Shemona Esrei, Kedushas Hayoim. If you open a Machzah, you'll see that the Chazan's Al Hashamnu and Al Chet, which we say with him, is before Modim. We don't say Vidui in our silent Shemona Esrei before Modim. We say it after Shemona Esrei before we take 3 steps back. Halacha Ches, HaVidui Shenogu Bo Kol Yisrael, the standard Vidui that you have to say the words Aval Anachnu Chatanu, V'chulu, you have to say Chatanu, Avinu, Pashanu, Vu Ikra Vidui. Those words are the Ikra Vidui. The Rambam already told us in Perek Aleph that someone that's Mosif and adds to his Vidui, he's Meshubach, he's praiseworthy. But in terms of what are the Ikra words, Chatanu, Avinu, Pashanu. Who Ikra Avidu. Aveva shezvad alem b'mekipur mezeh choyzum esvad alem b'mekipur acher. Afal pi she'omid b'teshuvah. The person said vidui. Now remember, Hashamnu was standardized. Al-Chetz is standardized. A person can add something that he believes is not covered in there, something specifically that he did. We learned the Rambam holds that Vidu needs Pirut Hachet. You have to listen. You have to list it. You have to express exactly what you've done. Basically, through the Hashamnus and all the Achetz, we basically covered almost everything. And everything is covered if you read between the lines. If you've ever seen the Vidui of the Chidah, it's a little pamphlet. And under each Al-Chet, the Chidah writes which Aveira is included in that Al-Chet. So basically, if you say the Al-Chet and you read the Chidah, you're basically confessing for almost every possible sin you can do, including rabbinic sins, are in the Chidah's Vidui. So a person that said Vidui on a sin this year, and he did Teshuvah, next Yom Kippur, he's fine. He hasn't done that Aveira again. He's Omei B'Teshuvah, so he can still say Vidui for that sin. He already confessed last year. He didn't do it again. We paskin the Machlokes in the Gemara. We paskin you can say Vidui on that sin again. Shenema, the pasuk says, Ki Peshoy Ani Eda V'Chatosi Negdi Samid. This is a pasuk I believe a few days ago Mrs. Zabrowski brought up on the chat screen. David HaMelech says in Tehillim, Ki Peshoy Ani Eda. I know my intentional sins. V'chatasi, and my unintentional sins, negdi samid, are always before me. This is the pasuk that the Gemara learns out and says that even though you said vidui, and even though you've done tshuva, and you've not repeated the aveira, chatasi negdi samid, a person can keep before him the chet, not that he has to be in this constant state of depression because of what he did, because that's not what Teshuvah is at all. But by Chatasi Negdi Samid, he has the ability to grow from that Chatasi Negdi Samid. And maybe it's a handout that was, I think, given out last week. It's part of a Pachad Yitzchak about this whole idea of how you take a sin and you convert it into a zechus. According to the Gemara, an intentional sin can become a zechus. We read the Rav Kook Zatzal about how that's done. It's not a God focus, it's a human focus. The human being learns from the sin, and therefore he elevates the sin into a merit for him. It becomes a positive thing because in the future, he understands what he did. He understands that he's not going to do it again, and he's going to become a bigger person. We grow from our mistakes. So it's a we. Therefore, there's a possibility that an intentional sin can yet become a schus for you. All Yidden that need Yeshua shall have Yeshuas, all Yidden need Nechama shall have Nechamas, all Yidden need Brachas should get Brachas. Refuas, Yeshuas, Brachas, Nechamas only come from the Bnei Shalom, and they can only come from the Bnei Shalom through the person he wants, his shliach, when he wants, how he wants. There's no other way through Yeshua, Brach, and Nechama, Yeshua, Brach, and Nechama for it to come. That's the Gili HaYichud for ourselves, and when we do a Gili HaYichud for ourselves, and we deep inside understand this and believe this, we help perfect our own perfectly imperfect selves, and through that we also contribute to perfecting the perfectly imperfect world around us. When that work is done, Mashiach come and finish the work Meher Yameinu Mamish today, so we can finally be free of all the tzaras that are all around us constantly and getting worse. The Commissioner at the end of Saita says, Kol Yom Kilosei Mechavei Nebuch, every day will become a bigger curse than the day before. Lo Yaleinu. The world's a beautiful world, it's God's beautiful world, but there appears to be a Hastoras Panim. We have to bring in, what's Hastoras Panim? We learned about it so much through the Das Tavunas. Hastoras Panim comes into the world when people are guf, 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 guf. You want to emphasize the dense, dark, guf, 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 guf. The Baruch Shalom is saying you dense, dark. You want to get out of that dense, dark, start focusing on the neshama as being the sovereign in your life, the focal point in your life. And through that, we bring more ha'oras panim to ourselves, more ha'oras panim to the world. B'cheinu avinu kulanu ke'echad ba'or panecha. Say it in Shemona Esrei 3 times a day. B'cheinu avinu kulanu ke'echad ba'or panecha. Father, please bless us with the shine, the radiance of your face, so we can have the ha'oras panim, get out of all these sorrows, all these mishigasim, all the havolim, the sillinesses that we become involved in and become sunken into, and we get the zeichet to the ha'oras panim with Bias Mashiach Tzidkeinu b'meher yameinu amen. Everybody have a wonderful day. Zay gesund. Please take care of yourselves. The numbers are not getting better. We need to be careful. We need to do the right thing based upon medical conditions, based upon our age, etc. Make the appropriate Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur preparations for where you're going to daven, how you're going to daven. The davening should be b'chavona atzuma. The kiyah shofar needs to be in a place where you can be yotze the shofar. There's an issue that comes up this year about being blowing shofar inside, outside. There are all kinds of rules about echoes. You can't hear a shofar echo. You have to hear the shofar itself. So you have to know where you're going to daven and attend, outside attend. All these things are being planned now by different outside minyanim. And we need to take care of ourselves and do the right thing. And the right thing is you make a cheshbon hanefesh, who you are, how old you are, what's your health condition. And there's no Yehorig Val Yavar. A person doesn't have to die for the sake of davening with a minyan. If you're in a situation that your health demands that you can't be at a minyan or you need to be at an outside minyan, that's what you need to do. To the extent the doctor needs to be consulted, consult your doctor. The Bnei Shalom is going to love you for taking care of your physical life, not becoming engrossed in physicality. But you have to have a healthy body to have a healthy neshama. Everybody have a wonderful day. Sei gesund.